Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. So today I'm going to take your first chapter of data entry called Basics of Computer. So let's get started. What is computer? Computer is any device that transforms your data into meaningful information. But what is data and what is information? Let's take one example to understand this. Suppose if you're doing your project, okay, so what you do, you go to Google and you search for the information that you need. So whatever is available on the Google at that time is your data. Okay, from that you select the relevant part for your project work according to your project work, and then you write it in your project book. So that becomes information. In computer we uses various application like Word, Excel to get the information. How in Excel we simply put the data as numbers. Okay, we just put the numbers and Excel calculate average, minimum value, maximum value for us, so that becomes information. Now the second part is computer organization. So you can see the block diagram for the same on the screen. Let's understand each part of this diagram in detail. First is input. What is input? It's a process of entering data and programs into the computer system. In simple words, it is just putting data inside the computer. That process is your input. Second is CU. The full form of CU is control unit. As name says, it takes care of step-by-step processing of all the operation inside the computer. It controls the overall system. That's why its name is control unit. Third is memory unit. Of course, memory unit, it will store the data and instruction. Fourth one is ALU. The full form of ALU is arithmetic logical unit. ALU will perform all the arithmetical functions like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, logic, and comparison of your data. Now note one point here, that ALU and CU, that is your arithmetic logical unit and control unit, they are jointly known as CPU. What's the full form of CPU? Central Processing Unit. So in exam they will ask you this for your objective, or like filling the blanks or true or false, so you should know this. Now what is output? Output is a process of producing results from the data. So when we enter data into the computer and it gives out information, that information becomes output. After understanding the block diagram, we can simply say that the computer performs basically 5 major operations of functions. First, it accepts the data. Second, it stores data. Third, it can process data. Fourth, it gives output. And of course, fifth one, it controls all the operations inside a computer. Peripheral devices. Peripheral devices are used for performing some specific functions or tasks, and they are connected to the computer externally. Here you can see that the peripheral devices are some extra parts that you connect to your computer to help it to do more things. For example, for typing, keyboard. For clicking and moving the pointer, we use mouse. For seeing pictures and words and videos, we have monitor. So your all the input devices, output devices, storage devices, they are your peripheral devices too. Now let's understand each of these peripheral devices in detail. Basically, peripheral devices are classified into 3: input devices, output devices, and storage devices. So let's first understand what are input devices. So in exam, for the definition purpose, they ask what are input devices. So input devices are the devices that we use to enter our data into the computer, or just simply putting our data inside the computer. On screen you can see some examples of input devices, common input devices of a computer. Let's understand each one of them one by one. So the first one is keyboard. A keyboard is the most commonly used input device, and nowadays in the market there are several kinds of keyboard available, but the most commonly used keyboard is QWERTY keyboard. Generally a standard keyboard has 104 keys, and the last point here is, in these keyboards the cursor control keys are duplicated to allow easier use of the numeric pad. As we know that this chapter of data entry is vast, so what I'm going to do is, after completing my explanation of each device, I'm going to give you the 4 important points that you can write for your short note or for the definition purpose. So if you're writing short note for any input device, or you're writing also for any input device, the first point should be, this is an input device. Okay, now let's talk about the keyboard. So first point is, this is an input device. Second point, what you're going to write, the most commonly used keyboard is QWERTY. Okay, third point is, standard keyboard has 104 keys. We can also write, we use keyboard for typing. Keyboard is most commonly used input device. So you get 4 to 5 points to write. Okay, now let's see the next input device, that is mouse. So what is mouse? Mouse is an electromechanical handheld device and it is used as a pointer. We use mouse to replace the hard to remember key combination, that are our shortcut keys, with point and click action. But we cannot substitute all the keyboard operations with the mouse, and it can be alternative. You can take it as an alternative for command based operation. Okay, so if it comes for the exam, what you're going to write, the first point is, it is an input device, and the next 3-4 points you can take from the screen. The most common mouse uses an internal magnetically coated ball to detect the movement of the mouse across a flat surface, usually a desktop. So nowadays, optical or laser mouse is used to detect the movement. All the Windows based applications today that we use are designed to work with mouse. Light pen. Light pen is also an input device that utilizes a light sensitive detector to select objects on display screen. Optical scanner. Optical scanner is an input device which is used for automatic data collection. It eliminates the manual input of your data by using keyboard or mouse. This is a barcode reader. It is a special type of image scanner and it translates printed images into an electronic format. We can see this type of a barcode reader in retail shops or supermarkets. Now the next one is OCR. What's the full form of OCR? Optical character recognition. Please remember this. In exam they ask this for true or false or filling the blanks. So this is used by the banks. It's one type of a scanner which is used by the banks to convert the scan image or type or printed pages into a text that can be edited on a computer. OCR is one type of a software. So it is not only used by the banks, we also use it. The text scanners that we use on our mobile phones, they are OCR only. Now touchscreens. Touchscreens are something that we are all familiar with. Why? Because they are everywhere these days, especially in our smartphones, right? So these devices allow us to input commands directly through the screen, either by touching the electronic buttons displayed on the screen or using a light pen. Microphone. All of us know about the microphone. It is an input device. It takes voice as input, and 2 types of microphones are there. First one is desktop microphone and the second one is handheld microphone. Now let's talk about the trackball, a unique pointing device which is very similar to a mouse. Instead of moving the entire device, you just simply rotate the ball to move the cursor on the screen. So one major advantage of using this trackball is that it occupies less space and can be used on any type of surface. That makes it versatile and space saving option for many users. So that's the end of the first part of our chapter, where we discuss what is a computer, its functions and input devices. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the next session, we will cover the remaining topics of this chapter. If you have any doubts, please comment down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.